Welcome to Out of the Discourse Maze, Practical Uses of the HDNT and the LD GNT for Bible Study and Sermon Preparation, Part 1. This is going to end up being a two-part series because as I was preparing, I just had too much information. And many of you are hanging on till 10:30, 11, which I love. But if we were to do both, this webinar wouldn't be over till like 1 o'clock in the morning. There's just a lot to go over. So we're going to do this in two parts. First one's now. Next one will be a couple months. And I'm very excited about tonight because this is one of these amazing resources that Logos has created. Specifically, Steve Runge, who's a scholar in resident at Logos, who has really done a great thing for the church by creating this resource. So we're going to jump into it and learn more about it. Tonight's training topics are going to be the following. First, what is the HDNT, LD GNT, besides another set of letters that looks like crazy acronyms? Second, what are some of the related resources that are available? 3, we're going to talk about how to keep track of the jargon and help you to understand, to make more sense out of it. Then we're going to get into reading and searching with the HDNT and LD GNT markers. Very important that you get a handle and grasp of those. And then we're going to talk about understanding the sentence structure, how to make sense out of that. So this is going to be one packed webinar, and I'm really looking forward to it. So tonight is the fourth Monday of the month. And 2/27 you see highlighted in orange there is part 1. And then on May 28th we're going to do part 2. Sorry for that big gap, but I've got a lot of extra webinars I got to cover between now and then. So you can see next month we've got some exciting webinars. We're going to be studying the topic of addiction in the Bible, and then also talking about suicide and how to study these topics and to learn what God's Word has to say about these topics. So check those out at the website there at LearnLogos.com. Don't forget that 3 times a month we do this. So this is our 4th Monday, but we also have webinars on the 1st and 3rd Monday. So Monday, March 5th, we're going to do Top 100 Shortcuts for Logos 4. That'll be part 4, and we'll be covering shortcuts 41 through 60. So 20 new shortcuts for you. On the 3rd Monday, March 19th, we're going to get into the topics of hermeneutics, exegesis, and interpreting scripture principles. This will be like really a neat class on Bible study methods. And then, of course, Monday, March 25th, we'll deal with the topic Studying Important Doctrine, Logos 4, dealing with addiction. And you can sign up for those, if not already, at LearnLogos.com/webinar. Don't forget that you can download this in the next 24 hours. I'll send out an email link. And we normally retail these for $9.99, but we're going to give you a 50% off for attending for $4.99. And if you haven't had a chance, you really need to pick up these training CDs. Now, good news, I just updated the CDs and the download links and all that. So if you haven't had a chance to purchase this, this is a great opportunity to do it. 50% off. It's really 15 plus hours of training, 160 lessons. We're updated all the way through Logos 4.5. Now, for those of you who already have the training CD, you're updated and you're good to go. But if you haven't purchased this, this really lays the foundation for learning Logos. The webinars are very fast. We assume a little bit of knowledge of Logos. You will see everything and hear everything that I'm doing, but it's a little bit fast-paced with all the questions. The training CDs is a completely different experience. It's slow, it's steady, it's organized, it's concise, and it really is in depth. And like I said, this is equivalent to Camp Logos 1 and 2 and more, because we give you things that you don't get anywhere else, like 130 book reviews that help you understand the books in your library and what books to add to your library. Plus, we've got some lectures and other Bible study and sermon preparation techniques in there. So it really is an amazing resource. And now at LearnLogos.com, we have over 105 hours of training resources to help you get more out of Logos 4. So if you haven't had a chance to look at the latest at the website, LearnLogos.com, please do so, and there's something for everyone there. So let's begin with tonight's training topics. And many of you emailed me the last couple of weeks when you heard about this and were saying, hey, I haven't bought this resource yet, so I'm looking forward to learning more. or the flip side, you have it and you haven't really tapped into it. And so let's talk about what is this thing called the HDNT and the LDGNT. So let's begin first with the HDNT. It's a 3-volume work when you buy it from Logos. And really what you're getting is a Bible translation. You're going to get some glossaries. You're going to get some extra books on definitions, and we'll look at each of those in a minute. But you get 3 books. And then within this Bible that they give you are these special tags, 15 of them, and you can see them all there. Tonight we're going to actually look at each tag and show you how to apply that for Bible study. And those are just a list of some of them. Now the next resource, and again feel free at any time to jump in here. Bob just says it's the best deal for Logos training out there, and he says it's worth it, meaning the training CDs. And great, thank you. Now let me show you the LDGNT. Now this is the Lexham Discourse Greek New Testament, 6 volumes. Now the 6 volumes includes the 3 previous volumes that I just described, the HDNT. So if you want to get everything, you want to get this one. You'll get an English Bible translation with 15 tags, and then you'll get this Greek Bible translation with an additional 41 tags, and those are listed here. The tags you can use whether you know Greek or not, but if you want to read the Greek, if you can't read the Greek, you can still leverage this. So don't feel intimidated by the original language. This will work really nice, and we'll show you some of the benefits of working these translations together. But if you want the whole set, all you need to do is buy this one, the Lexham Discourse Greek New Testament, and that will include the previous one that I mentioned. Now in part 2, we're going to dive into the Discourse Greek New Testament with 41 tags. I really do want to cover each one of those and show you how to leverage those and take advantage of that. Okay. Now, let me just pause there. Are there any questions before I talk about some of these related resources that you have here? Okay. Let's talk about some of these related resources, because Logos is growing these resources, and there's more now than there's ever been. First, let me talk about Steve Runge's Discourse Grammar of the Greek New Testament. It's about a little over 6 hours of lectures, almost 7 hours. It runs for $50 when it's on sale the last time I checked. And these are this is a technical presentation. He's going to get into the Greek. He's going to be using Greek grammar. So this is not, if you're not familiar with Greek grammar, you will glean a little bit of information. He's got some incredible visual illustrations that are very powerful, and you will gain some of it, but it really is designed for someone who has an understanding of Greek grammar or is not intimidated by Greek grammar. So I want to make sure you understand that it's going to be a technical lecture, very informative. This is really targeting, semi-professors, semi-graduate students, or individuals who are used to hearing Greek grammar terminology, and so take advantage of that. There is now the Discourse Studies in Biblical Interpretation. That's the $44.95 resource that you see there. Then to the right of it, we have the in fact, let me just open it up. Let me open up the Discourse Studies. So let me get Logos opened up here, and we'll get that started in a moment. It'll take a second to open up. We have the High Definition Commentary of Philippians, and this is a pretty cool resource, as you're going to see in a little bit, because it has a lot of visual aids. It's not a typical commentary, as you're going to see. Let me talk about some other ones, and then we'll have Logos ready. There's a couple books that are on pre-publication. The High Definition Old Testament that's going to be tagged, so I'm very excited about that. That's going to be pre-pubbed at $119.95. And then they're going to come out with the book of Romans in the same format as Philippians, which should be very powerful, at $64.95. Now I saved the last one there at the bottom left. Notice that it has the 6 volumes, so that means the HDNT and also the Greek one. It also includes the training. It includes the Discourse study of Bible interpretation and the Philippians. So if you don't have any of these resources and you were to invest now, this would be the way to go, and you'd save $20 doing it that way versus buying them individually. So that's a real advantage there. Now, Logos is open, so let's go ahead and just take a look at each one of these resources. Okay, so the first one I want to look at is I'm just going to type in Runge, and we're going to take a look at the commentary in Philippians. This one is really, really neat. So let me maximize that for the screen view. And we'll go to the, first it gives you a nice introduction, tells you what it is and how to use it. And we'll just jump to Philippians 1. So as you can see, he's got some very basic introduction. This is not a technical commentary or exegetical commentary, but he's got these amazing slides in there. So this, for example, is the outline of the whole book, but he uses this folder imagery to kind of help you visualize what's going on in the book. The whole theme, slave of Christ, and then within that theme there's Christ apostle, Christ prisoner, called as apostle, and so forth. And you can right-click on these, and you can take these images and send them to PowerPoint or save them or print them out. So there's lots of these in there. Let me just scroll through. There's another one that helps you understand, for example, the basis of Paul's prayer. The commentaries themselves, like I said, are not very technical. They're going to be some good, they're going to bring out some insights. So the way you're going to use this in studying is a complement to your other resources. And he's going to bring out the most important points, the high level, big picture stuff. And but he's not going to, I mean, sometimes he deals with details, but this is a really good overview of the book. In fact, it's a great tool to use to memorize the big themes of Philippians. And Fallahee just said that this is a great commentary. And hopefully Charles just mentioned that my voice was breaking up a little bit. If you're on a wireless network, you might want to get on a wired connection. Sometimes wireless networks, if the signal is weak, will break it up. Okay, so hopefully that problem will go away for you. Okay, now let's take a look at a couple other resources that I mentioned there. Let's do this Discourse studies and biblical interpretation. That fancy word they use at the top is called a Festschrift. And think of it just as a series of articles. Now this is going to be a very technical book. It's going to get into a lot of rules of grammar and really go into what is this discourse, what's the reasons for it, what is Greek presence, imperfects, aorist, and the synoptic gospels. All these different articles that are going to be very helpful in understanding this thing called discourse, because what is it? And that's what this book is for. So if you're looking to go deeper, if you're looking for a more technical understanding, this is kind of like the grammar book for discourse. Very helpful articles. And then tonight we're going to be looking at, let me open this up. I've got a layout. So let me go to my LDGNT layout. And this will have 6 volumes. And so we can look at each one of these carefully. Okay. The top row of the 6 books represents the HDNT, the 3 volumes. The bottom row represents the Lexham Discourse Greek New Testament. Now remember, if you buy the 6 volumes, you're getting the 3 Greek ones at the bottom, or the 3 resources at the bottom, and the 3 resources at the top. So what do you get? Well, with the 3 volumes, you get the HDNT. It has the ESV Bible translation, and it has the whole New Testament only, tagged with all the special tagging that he does, which we're going to go over tonight. So you can see an example there with a little megaphone and the bolding and the gray lettering and the different sentence structure tags. You also get a glossary, which is going to explain the terms in very concise format. So like 1 sentence, 2 sentence, that kind of thing. And then you have the introduction. Now this is going to go a little bit more in depth, give you that extra information you're looking for, give you some examples and some illustrations. So the 3 books work together. So you won't be left in the woods just wondering, what does all this stuff mean? These resources, and I will show you tonight how to use them, will allow you to really grasp what's going on. Now below, the bottom three resources, again, represent the Lexham Discourse Greek New Testament. And as you can see here, we've got the Greek New Testament in the bottom right, and you can see that there's some repetition of some symbols. Okay, so it includes all the symbols you would expect in the HDNT, but then there's going to be 41 new symbols and tagging. So with the 6 volumes, you're going to get the most tags possible. Very important to understand that. All right, and then of course he gives you a glossary, which are going to give you quick summary, concise sentences of what these things mean, what these markers mean, and then of course he'll give you the introduction for as well. So these 6 books are really the core in order to understand and leverage Discourse for your Bible study and sermon preparation. All right, so as I get ready to switch slides here, any questions, feel free along the way to just jump in there, and we'll begin to answer those along the way. So there's quite a few resources that Logos has made available and is going to be made available in the very near future. And like I said, these are unique resources you're just not going to find any other place in any other program. All right, let's talk about the jargon. Keeping track of the jargon. How do you make sense out of all this new vocabulary? So let's go back to